All right, let's jump right in. Today we're looking at a fascinating snapshot of the tech world. It's a story of two halves. On one side, we've got some critical digital threats you really need to know about. And on the other, some absolutely incredible innovations that are just around the corner.
But let's kick things off with a question that honestly might hit a little too close to home, especially if you've planned a trip recently. Is your vacation data really safe? Because a huge player in the travel world just learned a very tough lesson.
So first up, let's talk about the scary stuff, digital dangers. We're going to look at the latest threats that could actually impact you directly, starting with one that affects millions and millions of travelers.
Here's the headline that's making waves. Booking.com, yeah, one of the biggest online travel sites in the entire world, got hit by a massive data breach. And look, this wasn't some small-time incident. This was a widespread attack that got its hands on the personal information of a truly staggering number of people. And when I say staggering, I am not kidding. We're talking more than 15 million users. That's 15 million people who put their trust in the platform with their travel plans, their personal details, and are now left wondering if they're at risk.
And the real danger here is in the combination of data that was stolen. This isn't just about names and emails. For millions of people, it includes their sensitive travel plans and, this is the really critical part, their home addresses. With that info, scammers can create super convincing phishing attacks, mentioning your exact trip to trick you. And yeah, the credit card info is encrypted, but with everything else they stole, you become a prime target.
So the big question is, what can you actually do about it? Well, first things first, change your password right now. That is absolutely non-negotiable. Then, go and turn on two-factor authentication. It's a crucial extra layer of security. After that, you just have to be on high alert. Keep an eye on your bank statements for anything weird, and be super suspicious of any emails or texts that say they're from Booking.com, especially if they start asking for personal info.
But it's not just us, the everyday users, who are in the crosshairs. Our second digital danger is a really serious one for the folks who run the internet's backbone. A severe vulnerability was just discovered in a super popular web server tool called Nginx UI.
And this number? It tells you everything you need to know about how serious this is. The vulnerability got a CVSS score of 9.8 out of 10. Now for context, anything over a 9.0 is considered critical. A 9.8 is basically a 5-alarm fire in the cybersecurity world. It just doesn't get much worse. So, what does that 9.8 score actually mean? Well, it's what they call a remote code execution flaw. Basically, an attacker can run any code they want on a server that has this vulnerability. They don't need a password, no credentials, nothing. And the scariest part, it's already being actively used by hackers out there, putting over 50,000 servers at risk of a complete takeover.
Okay, all right, that's enough of the doom and gloom. Let's completely pivot here and look at the other side of the tech coin. We're going to shift gears from the dangers of today to the brilliant, exciting innovations that are shaping our tomorrow. First up, let's get a little peek into what's coming next for all you Android users out there. Google just dropped its April Canary release, which is a super early experimental version for developers, and oh man, it is packed with some seriously cool, forward-thinking features for Pixel phones.
And wow, the early results are looking pretty amazing. This new build uses some AI-powered memory management that actually learns your habits to make apps open up to 40% faster. It also promises about 15% better battery life and a 30% cut in gaming lag, all thanks to a new AI frame pacing mode. I mean, these aren't just little tweaks, these are major improvements.
But it's not just about the software, right? The hardware is getting some crazy updates too. Huawei is really trying to shake up the foldable phone market with its new Pura X Max. And this is not just another minor update, it's a completely fresh take on what a foldable can be.
So instead of unfolding into a tall, kind of squarish screen like the Galaxy Fold, the Pura X Max opens up into this massive 10.2-inch landscape widescreen display. It's perfect for watching movies or for some serious multitasking. It also crams in a much bigger battery with way faster charging, and get this, the AI-powered stylus comes right in the box. It's a really compelling alternative. And that stylus they throw in, it's not just some simple pen. It is loaded with AI features that are actually useful. It can convert your messy handwriting into text, translate your notes in real time, and even automatically summarize long documents for you. It's really designed to be a true productivity tool.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about something we all care about: battery life. Vivo just launched a new phone, the T5 Pro, with pretty much one goal in mind:
to absolutely crush the competition when it comes to endurance.
And this is how they did it. Just look at this number, 9,020 milliamp hours. That is by a massive margin the largest battery ever put into a major smartphone. It is nearly double what you find in most flagships today. It's insane.
So, what does a battery that big actually mean in the real world? Well, this chart breaks it down beautifully. We're talking 3 full days of normal use, 25 straight hours of watching videos, even 12 hours of heavy gaming. This is a phone that fundamentally changes how you even think about charging, and somehow it still charges to full in just over an hour.
And for our last piece of future tech, let's talk tablets. OnePlus is getting ready to make a huge splash. They've started teasing their next big tablet, the OnePlus Pad 3 Pro, and they are aiming right for the top of the food chain.
And as you can see from these predicted specs, they are not messing around. It's going toe-to-toe with the iPad Pro on the processor, the screen, the battery. But here's the real kicker. Look at the charging speed. 100-watt charging on the OnePlus versus just 20 watts on the iPad. That is a massive, massive difference that could make it a much more practical choice for power users who are always on the go.
Okay, so after that whirlwind tour of digital dangers and futuristic hardware, what's the big picture here? What's the main thing to take away from all of this?
I think it really just boils down to this idea of a balancing act. On one hand, we have to be more careful and security-minded than ever before. The threats are real, and they are always changing. But on the other hand, we can't let that fear stop us from embracing all the incredible new tools and tech that are making our lives better and more productive.
And that leaves us with one final thing to think about. As we move forward, what's going to be the real driving force? Will the next decade of tech be defined by a race for the flashiest new features, or will it be defined by a desperate need to build systems we can actually trust? It's a conflict that is going to shape everything to come. Thanks for tuning in.